Hello everyone, this is Brian Black here, and I'm going to teach you guys a little bit about dodge and burn. Um, First of all, what is dodge and burn? Not many know, but if you're a photographer, you've probably known if you've taken a class about film, but back in the day, dodge and burn was basically used for lightening or darkening certain parts of your images, and that was done on film. And today in the digital world, when we print, we don't have the option of doing that, so we have to do it in Photoshop or in Lightroom or in any other applications that we have. So today I'm going to show you what dodge and burn is, where it is, and how to use it, and how to get creative with it. So today, well, let me not save that. I have a few images here I'm going to work with, and basically all these images I chose personally out of my collection to use to show you how dodge and burn can effectively make your images, I guess, look better or add contrast or enhance it in some sort of way. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up an image here. I would suggest opening an image that is pretty much, I want to say, like in the mid-tones. It's not high key and it's not low key. Just to start out what that is. So we're just going to create a new layer. I did Command J, that's one way, or you can come down here and click the create a new layer button, or I'm sorry, that's the wrong thing. You can drag your background down to the create a new layer and it'll make a background copy. So for now we're going to have a new layer, and what we're going to do, actually let's just rename this one. We're going to call it Burn Dodge. Oh wow. Okay, there we go. Did I spell it? Yes, I did spell it right. Okay. I do not need to get sent back to the 5th grade. That's good. Alright, so we're just going to start out with the, make a price guide. Close that. Okay. We're going to start out with the burn tool. I'm just going to show you what it does. Burn, I am hoping you understand, makes things darker, hence the word burn, because you would be burning something. Thinking about that doesn't really make sense. Anyway. The burn tool is what was used to block light out from one of your from your images that you're using. So here, basically what it does is up at the top you can pick if you want to work in the shadows, the midtones, or the highlights. And for now we're going to work in the midtones because that's basically what this is. It's in the middle. It's not really high key, so it's not very bright, and it's not low key, so it's not a very dark image. So we're going to work in the midtones, and I'm going to set my exposure around like 60 or so. And we're going to work here in this path right here. We're going to make this look like a really black, like asphalt, like it's brand new kind of. So we're going to kind of just come through here and rub around a little bit. May take a couple strokes. And that's what burn is basically doing right here. It's making this darker. I mean, it's not. The nice thing about the burn tool is that you get to select where you want it. It's a very selective thing. It's a brush instead of like an overall, and that's what's nice about the burn tool. So I'm just gonna kind of just burn until I like it. You know, it looks pretty nice. There's a couple of extra spots around here that, you know, I'll just burn. And with a smaller brush. Oh, and the key about this is with your brush. See here how it says my hardness is at 0%? That means it's a very soft brush. If I bring it all the way out, that's what a hard brush looks like. You do not want to brush with a hard brush. So we're going to keep it at a soft brush while doing pretty much all of these. I mean, you can do it at a hard brush, it's a lot harder than you think. So that's basically what the burn tool does. Let's take a quick look at what we did. We turned the asphalt from gray to black. And it's pretty messy. I'm just kind of going quick here, so yeah. Next we're taking the dodge tool. What the dodge tool does is it brightens things up. We're going to be working in the highlights. You can pick midtones, but this guy is pretty bright area, and that's what we're going to mainly work in. And we're not going to bring it too high, roughly around 20 to 22%. And don't always go off of what my percents say. You can always try messing around going up to 50, 60%, but that's all up to you. So we're just going to kind of brush around here. As you can tell, it's getting a lot brighter now. And this is only at 22%. Imagine 100%. Yeah, so basically what this is doing is it's allowing us to selectively lighten up areas of our image. So I'm just going to brighten up some of these areas around here just real quickly. Yeah. There we go. There, let's brighten these guys up a little bit, you know, give them a little bit more awesomeness to them. I'm going to brighten up these areas here. And honestly, we're good to go there. So as you can tell, burn and dodge tool are very selective tools. You have to use a brush. You don't have to be a painter or some awesome artist to be able to use this tool. I suck at drawing. I can barely draw a stick person, and look what I could do. I could go ahead and brush around and, you know, make my image look a little bit better. So the before and after, you may be a little bit surprised. This is just kind of like what I like. You could always decide to dodge in the rocks or the grass if you wanted, or sorry, burn in the rocks and the grass instead of dodging it. I mean, it's all a very subjective point of view. But personally for me, I love to enhance the sky and darken my blacks a lot. So before and after, there's our before, which looks very neutral, very bleh, and then we added a burn and dodge tool to it, which actually I always forget this spot right here. Okay, so that's that image right there. We're gonna move on to one more. Actually, we have a couple more just really quick, but I'm gonna go through this one really quick. We're gonna add another layer, so we can type that in, burn and dodge. We're gonna grab our tool, we'll take our burn tool. This one, let's drop the exposure to about 20, and this one's a very dark image, so we're gonna kind of go into the shadow area here. And this one, we're just gonna kind of grab through the edges, darken the edges to focus more on the middle where the sunset is. So we're just darkening our foreground here, and it looks pretty good. I mean, we're just darkening that. And from there, once our foreground's pretty dark, we're gonna take the dodge tool, and let's do it more. Well, those are kind of like highlights. So once again, we'll try it at like 22%. Bring out this sky. And this is, I'm not gonna lie, the dodge tool is one of the greatest tools to enhance skies. Like, it's just beautiful. Like, look what it's doing to that sunset. So let's get around these trees a little bit. This tree up here. Just make sure we get all of that. Now, to get a little bit more creative with this kind of stuff, just think, I like to see houses a little bit more bright. So here we're just gonna actually brighten the house up a little bit. So let's go to like 35%. That's not gonna do. Oh, I know why. Going to the midtones. See, you gotta know what's what when it comes to these houses, or to your exposures. So yeah, brighten this guy up a little bit. Bring that into the shadows, actually. You know, just use these tools. Use the dodge and burn tool to darken and lighten the things that you want. So usually the lightest thing in the image is what's going to pop out. So use the dodge tool to let things pop out so people can see what you want them to see. And use the burn tool to get rid of things that you don't want people to see. Like, I don't really care if people see this stop sign area. Like, it's not that beautiful. Like, let me just get rid of it. So yeah, oh yeah, and just to enhance this just a little bit. Oh, well, for some reason I can't see my mouse, that's weird. Okay, but, why can't I see my mouse? Okay, hold on guys, I'm sorry. Okay, continuing on, I'm just gonna dodge that. So, before and after, before kind of boring, you know, you're looking at the asphalt a lot, you don't care to see that, you care to see the sunset. Use the burn and dodge tool and bam! That sky is popping out, and so does that house right there. So there's some good uses out there for the burn and dodge tool, but you guys have just seen some like scenic shots, so I want to kind of get into people shots and show you how the burn and dodge tool can be used with people. So once again, we're going to create a new layer, and we're going to call it burn and dodge. Once again, we're going to take the burn tool, but before you pick what you want, the burn or the dodge tool, you want to decide, what do I want to do with this? And in this image, as you can tell, there's this creepy lady in the back just kind of like creeping around this dude's shoulder, and that was just a bad mistake on my part, photographing and not paying attention to the lady behind him. But great image of this guy. You want him to pop out, but you don't want people to stare at the creepy person in the back, which, okay, they're not a creepy person, but they just look creepy. So the burn and dodge tool, once again, will work very well here. We'll be taking the burn tool, and we want to say that's kind of like a shadow mid-tone area, so we'll just do shadows, maybe bring that exposure up to like, let's just mess around and see what we see. Like a 30%, yeah. 30% seems to be good. And we want to just darken what's in the back, and whoa, that's, in fact, actually, that's way too much. Well, let's try midtones. There we go, okay, so that's working a lot better. And I'm just going to kind of go around and darken everything around him until I like where we're at. Really want to darken these corners because I don't really care for them. And so what we have here is darkened background. I mean, she's not as bright, so we're not paying attention to her as much. Now he pops out a lot more, but we're going to make him pop out even more by using the dodge tool. And what I want to do is kind of, I don't want to say like make a halo around him, but what we're going to do is we're going to kind of edge him around with this. We're going to go highlights, bring that down to about 20% or so. And we're just going to kind of go around him like that. Maybe drop that exposure just a bit more to like 10% or so. Now 100% is just crazy. You notice that I'm using things below 50%, so if you're trying it at 100, then that's pretty insane there. But once again, you guys have creative application to do that, so use it how you will. But that's another way of using the burn and dodge tool here in this image, by getting rid of someone in the background and lightening up someone else. And really that's basically what the burn and dodge tool is. I've shown you a couple images on how to do it, and some scenic shots and some people shots, and I hope this really helps. If you have any other questions, please put them in the comments below, and like and favorite if this really helped you. That would be amazing if you would do that if this helped, because if I know this helped, then I will keep making more of these. And thank you so much. All right, bye.